Hello, come in guys, take a seat. Welcome to my office. Ladies, today I have a vitally important topic for us to cover. How to build your glutes. And I don't care how blessed you think you are in the booty department, everybody needs to work on their glutes. We all want that nice, high, round, pert bottom. Today I'm going to show you the best way to get that. The workout that I've got planned for you today is a booty band workout. So that's all you need, just one booty band. Now before we get started with that, I do want to point out some limitations of trying to build your glutes with a band. The glute is the most powerful muscle in the body, and therefore it needs to be really challenged with weight and progressive overload. However, many of us are still not in our gyms and we haven't got access to that high weight. Therefore, there's still things that we can do at home. So with the band today, we're mainly going to focus on activating those muscles. Then I'm going to tell you my 5 top tips how to really build your glutes and get that shape that you've always wanted. And as if all of that wasn't enough, we're going to come back up here and we've got to feed that booty. We want to feed the booty to make it grow. So I'm going to show you how to make some delicious, nutritious, lean protein. It's just going to be the chicken breast, but I'm going to make it really tasty. I'm going to show you how to do that in my brand new air fryer. Okay, so I'm going to get on and eat my pre-workout. These oats are a good source of slow release carbohydrates. It's going to keep me fueled through my entire workout. And I'm going to meet you guys in the gym. Ready? Let's go.
I'm just showing you here how to put a band on. In case you've never used one before. Yes, that's how it works. Yes, well done. Very good. Okay, on to the first movement. This is for the lateral glute. You're going to just slightly bend over, but you're essentially standing upright. And you're just going to move that foot away from your midline. So you're going to stay as sideways as possible. We are stronger if we kick the leg back a little bit. We're going to try and really not do that. You're just going to take the leg out to the side. You're going to also try and keep your upper body as still as possible. It's so easy to crumble in the midsection, kind of twist over as your body tries to compensate, because this muscle here is a very small muscle, very underutilized, so the rest of your body will try and help it out. Okay, now we're down on the floor. We're going to do a single leg glute bridge. So that non-working leg, the one in the air, that stays nice and still. Then you're going to push through the heel of that working leg and you're going to go as high as you can and you're going to squeeze that glute at the top. So a common mistake with this one is the non-working leg, the one that goes straight up in the air. People use it for momentum, so that the heel of the foot will come right down, and then as they push through their working leg, it'll sort of go to be flung back up into the air, and people don't realize that they're doing it, but they're using it to help out their glute. So you've got to be really still with that non-working leg and the working leg. So in this case, the left heel, pushing through that left heel, you're going to squeeze that left glute. Okay, if you've done these before, you know how painful they are. These are crab walks or lateral walks. So the idea is you stay down in a half squat, and then as you take the weight onto one of your feet, you sort of squat down a little bit more. So the idea is you're always pushing the knees apart. The band's going to want to bring them together. And so you push the knees apart, and in doing so, it builds that side glute. Okay, now we're standing up again, essentially upright. Before we were kicking the leg out to the side, and now we're going to kick it backwards. But you might be able to tell here that my toe is turned out slightly. And when I say my toe, I mean that the whole of the leg, the toe, the knee, and the hip is slightly turned out. And then I kick the whole of the leg in that position back out behind me. But again, I'm going to make sure that I'm keeping that upper body super still and I'm not crumbling in the waist. You'll see that I often really correct myself because it is easy to start crumbling over or leaning over and twisting to the side, but you have to keep telling yourself to stand up. Okay, this one is a killer. Bear with me, ladies. This one, fire hydrants, we call these, I think, because it looks like a dog pees up a fire hydrant. Again, you can see that I turn my ankle a little bit here. And again, it's just a bit of a cheat. It's just my body trying to make the work a little bit easier. But either way, again, you're going to keep that torso nice and tight. Don't let your ribs crumble. And you're just going to push your leg out to the side. That's it. Okay, now these are forward walking laterals. I'm not sure that's the actual name. I just made it up. But basically we're going forwards, but as we stay in a half squat, but now we step wide, 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 wide. So kind of zigzagging in a forward movement. You're going to stay in that half squat there. So there we go. Okay, now bear with me, ladies. If you ever do this in a gym, point yourself to the wall and don't make eye contact. So these are abductions. So look at my feet here. The side of my feet are on the floor and then the soles of my feet are pressed together. I'm hip raising up and then I'm getting the knees out as far as I can. There is a variation of this where you sit on the bench, but I feel like I can really abduct further in this position, so I feel like it's a little bit more effective. I like getting the full range of motion. Okay, on to some squatting, pulse squat. So we're gonna go down, we're gonna pulse for 3. So we're not just bouncing at the bottom, we're gonna come up and down and up and down and up and squeeze. Okay, so look at the granny butt, guys. We want this granny butt, yeah? Really push those hips forward, squeeze right at the top. Doesn't matter what we look like in the gym, just get the work done. That's all we need. That's it. So all the way down. This might get you in the quads as well. Good work, Hammer. Oh, we've got one more. Okay, bounce for 3. So common mistake with this is that people bounce very small at the bottom. So they've actually taken the weight off, like they're waiting for a buzz, and they just bounce there. Okay, this is important here. We're going to do kickbacks, but see what I was doing with my back there. So I want my head and my neck in a neutral position, and likewise all of my back. If I looked up, then it would encourage me to be very hollow in the back, and then this movement I would be able to feel in my back. So what I did there at the start, and what I'll keep correcting myself, what I'll keep doing is just pushing the hips up a little bit, or not the hips but the rib cage, so you're slightly round backed, and you're going to squeeze that booty at the top. Okay, then we're going to be talking a little bit about this in a second, but I'm just finishing off with some recovery. This is obviously sped up, but I like to do my glutes and hammies every day. So even on upper body days, I will roll out my legs and my bum, because usually upper body days come after leg days. So I do it for a little bit of extra recovery.
Now tell me that workout wasn't fire. I can tell already that my glutes are going to be sore tomorrow. It was a good workout, and it's a really good time to focus on that mind to muscle connection, and it's going to really help you with your future glute endeavors. And now I'm going to give you my 5 top tips on how to build the best ever glutes. And I do just want to remind you again that we do need a gym, we do need to be adding weights, but just hold on guys, we've got a few more weeks and then we're going to be back in that gym. So tip number 1, make sure you're incorporating glute isolation movements. So squats and deadlifts are amazing movements. I incorporate them a lot in my training program. However, they don't only isolate the glutes. A lot of women are quad dominant, and those kind of movements are going to build your quads. If you already feel it in your quads anyway, it's really not the best way to build the glutes. Some good isolation movements for glutes are hip thrusts, glute bridges, frog pumps, curtsy lunges, cable kickbacks, and any other movement where you can really feel that squeeze at the top. Tip 2, focus on progressive overload. If you want to build muscle, then you have to progressively overload the muscle. So that means that you're focusing on your strength, you're trying to up the reps or up the weight more importantly. This means you have to keep on challenging the muscle. So you're always increasing the weight, increasing the reps, increasing the sets, or increasing the amount of times you work out. And you don't have to do all of those at the same time. One week you can up the weight and then you would focus on upping the reps the next week with that same weight. But either way, it's about challenging that muscle. Avoid getting stuck in the rut of doing the same workout week after week after week after week, because your glutes just simply won't grow. And lifting heavy weights is great because it makes you feel like a badass. And stop choosing the weight that you can do 100 reps with. If you can get to 100 reps, it's not heavy enough. Tip number 3, master the posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, what does this mean? If you've trained with me before, you know I'm always going on about the ugly butt. So the posterior pelvic tilt is when you're coming up from, say, a deadlift or a hip thrust, and you're pushing the hips through and you're squeezing your muscles at the top, and we create that ugly butt look. But it's only for a fleeting second, and don't shy away from it. You must do it, because that's going to really help you to get that mind to muscle connection, and it just makes sure that you're pushing your hips through the full range of movement. And we need to do this when we're doing any of the main primary glute movements. So the ones that incorporate the gluteus maximus, the main muscle, that's the one that's going to need that full range of movement. So things like hip thrusts, step ups, squats, deadlifts. These are the ones where we want to squeeze at the top. Tip number 4, target the glutes from all angles. This lesson, the glutes are made up of 3 muscles: the gluteus maximus, the medius, and the minimus. Gluteus maximus is the one responsible for the main mass. I'm always doing that with the glutes. And the minimus and the medius are the smaller muscles around the outside, and they're more a sculpting muscle, and they're the ones that are going to give you that nice round shape. So to build all 3 muscles, you need to be focusing your movements on 3 different planes of movement. The first plane is the horizontal plane, and this is where you're getting that full hip extension. So hip thrusts, glute bridges, again, anytime when you're really going to squeeze those glutes at the top. Next one is the vertical plane of movement, and this is when you're stepping down on your foot and it's driving your body upwards. So this would be conventional deadlifts and step ups. And the third one is the lateral plane. So this is hip abduction, when you're moving your legs sideways away from your midline. So this would be lateral crabs, lateral kickbacks, and any other abductor movement. And again, we need to be challenging the muscle with all 3 rep ranges. That way, we're targeting all 3 muscle groups and all types of muscle fibers. Tip number 5, focus on your nutrition and your recovery. You'll find it very difficult to grow your glutes if you're always in a calorie deficit. It needs those calories from good quality carbs and protein and good quality fat, and from your micronutrients, your greens, your veggies, your fruits. All of these nutrients need to be available in your body to optimize your muscle growth. Nutrition will help your body to recover as well. It's essential. If it's time for you to work out again, but you still haven't recovered from your session before, then possibly you've not been recovering properly, you've not been eating properly, you've not been sleeping properly. It's something that you really need to look into. If your muscles do get very sore, I do recommend foam rolling regularly between your sessions. Some people like to foam roll before their session. I like to foam roll after, but then also the day after that as well. You can also get massages or have some kind of body work done. Okay, this talk of food is making me hungry. I'm gonna go into the kitchen and cook some chicken. I feel like chicken is the bodybuilding staple. You can mix your proteins up though, guys. You don't have to stick to chicken. I eat a lot of fish, shrimp, red meats at least once a week, eggs, egg whites, and protein powder. And don't forget your carbs. You need carbs. Yes, you. Eat your carbs. You need to work hard in the gym, eat your carbs, and your booty will thank you. Okay, enough of this, I'm getting hungry. To the kitchen! Okay, so as I hinted earlier, I've had a new air fryer. So I finally feel like a proper Fitspo, because now I've got an air fryer. And I had a NutriBullet also. It took me ages to get a NutriBullet, but I had one of those a few weeks ago. And now I've got the air fryer, so Fitspo status, here we are! So the plan today is we're going to do a chicken breast stuffed with mozzarella and spinach. And then we're going to do some sweet potatoes. Usually I would always put my sweet potato in the microwave and just blitz it until it was soft. But I think we're going to do those in the air fryer as well. And then green beans. I'm going to do green beans, but I'll probably just put them on the hob. It's got all kinds of instructions, but let's be real. Whoever reads the instructions. But I did do the clever 2020 thing, and I did look at a review on YouTube, and the guy thought it was awesome actually, but he said it was more like an oven than an air fryer, but I've never had an air fryer, so I mean it works with air, right? And there was definitely air circulating. It's got a basket that turns the whole time, so you can put fries in there and you don't have to turn them over, and it's got some kind of stick thing that you can roast a pig on. So it's really cool. I'm going to show you. So here she is. God, look how shiny she is. Okay, so it's just like a little oven, I guess. A little drip tray there. And when you turn it on, it's like a spaceship. Okay, here we go. Spinach, green beans, sweet potato, mozzarella cheese, and chicken breast. Booty gains coming right up. If your potatoes are too hard to cut because you've got an old 1-year-old knife that's never been sharpened, then you can pop your put your potato in the microwave for 1 minute. Pro tip right there. I would advise that you try and make your pieces the same size. The small ones are going to go on the bottom, and then the thicker ones on the top. So I presume it's going to be hotter up there. There we go. Okay, there they are. All cozy in there. 35 minutes. Press power. I would usually be lazy and get the bagged version with the tops and tails already cut off, but they ran out at the grocery store the other day, so now I've got to do it manually. One by one. Okay, I'm going to attempt to cut this chicken long ways with this blunt knife. Maybe you want to look away. Oh yeah, looking good, fam. I want a nice deep pocket, but I don't want it to go all the way through. I think that's cool. Okay, so now we're going to put spinach and mozzarella in there. Oh, didn't trim this. So there we go. That's kind of what they look like at the moment. Bit of a battle. It's quite stressful. So I've just swapped the top and bottom shelf around because I think that's what the guy did on the review. We've got another 5 minutes left. here we go. They are done. So the guy in the review said he burned his hand on this door. So I'm gonna try not to do that. And now it's time. I'm gonna pop these in here. Let's see. Ooh. Let's put that in there. Is that the right one? I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna go in there. Go. So this is what the sweet potato looks like. I think if I cut them in proper wedge shapes, then they would have looked like potato wedges. But I cut them in a funny shape, so they look a little bit weird. But anyway, they're slightly crispy on the outside, but they're nice and soft. So I'm gonna taste one. Tastes burnt. It's kind of got a charred grilled taste about it, but it's actually quite nice. Just gonna do a quick check, just because I want to, not because I think they're done. Oh wow, ouch. Okay, green beans are done. A little bit more blackened than I would have liked, but I was a little bit slow in turning them down. Okay, so it says it's ready. Let's check it out. Well, that looks fun. I should have covered that in foil. I don't know why I didn't. I forgot. Oh yes, they look good. Just on the plate. There it is, guys. The finished product. Look at that mozzarella. I would say that is a success. Somebody drilling outside. It's inconvenient. Shush! Trying to do a video. YouTube problems. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for cooking with me. That was so much fun. Hope you learned a little bit about this power air fryer, and I hope you're going to put those booty building tips to good use. Make sure we're sculpting that booty. See, I did it again. Sculpting that booty, ready for when we get out into the wide world. I'm probably going to get flagged for this video because I know there's been a lot of chart music in the background. Anyway, the next video I'm going to talk about the six ways that I have managed to stay on track during this lockdown period. So for the last 8 weeks or however many weeks we've been locked down for, I'm going to share with you my secrets, and there's still time to implement them. So if you're interested in seeing that video, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and then YouTube will alert you when I've done the post. In the meantime, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and comment down below if you have an air fryer and you actually know how to use it. Thank you guys, and see you soon. Mwah!